Hi, YouTube. I hope you're doing okay. I'm doing so. I got sad news that a friend of ours, his mom died, which is also an ex-coworker of mine, a nurse, was my head nurse um, when I was TMA and counselor at a drug rehabilitation place. So, yeah, that, that's a bummer. I mean, she was elderly. I'm going to say 86, I do believe, and did have some health issues and that type of thing. So I'm not going to say it was like right after her shot because she had that a couple months ago. But I knew too, it was a few months ago, our friend who is handicapped and relied on his mom in a big way. Um, was saying, well, mom's going to live till she's 120 because she's tough and this and that. And I said, oh, I know she's strong, but I knew in my heart that this was her last year. I just looked at him like that, like, prepare yourself. So, yeah, he tried to call yesterday and I didn't answer the phone. I usually don't. If I'm not expecting a phone call, I mean, and I like it that way. I've gone years without any phone or TV, or like even when my kids were little, I tried to have a phone if I was living out in the country when my kids were little. But if I didn't have children and that, or even lived in town, I wasn't really all that concerned a lot of times with all that type of stuff. So, like all the worldly things in life really didn't ever impact me like it does a lot of people. So, I don't know, just saying. She was kind of like that too. They live over on the lake and they have a rather big farm, a lot of land, and I think Dave's going to lose it. Maybe not. But him and his brother and sister's been fighting over it. One time, this was about 10 years ago, he came into the hospital where his mother was, and they were going to not resuscitate her if anything happened. Well, he intervened, but if it hadn't have been for that, she would have been gone 10 years ago if his brother and sister had got their way. So yeah, it's just a really weird world. But I think because, and they had more property over in Wisconsin that they lost, and I think they're gonna lose everything, all them kids, because they didn't work together. They were so greedy. I mean, he was helping his mom and he was there for her, but I don't know, when you got um greedy siblings, they can mess it up for everybody. And something tells me that's probably what's going to happen. And we're going to have a homeless friend here pretty soon. Kind of thinking that might happen. I told Doug that a long time ago. Um, so I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. So we'll do what we can to help him. You know, this is not somebody I can take into my home personally unless he promised to take a bath every day and Doug could deal with him on the other side of the house. But just me, if I was younger, I'd say go ahead, but then there'd be a conflict with a younger male around, which I don't know. It wouldn't matter if it was a man or a woman. I really don't think that it would in my life with Doug. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. And he has a guy living over on his property um, in a trailer that parks his trailer there and lives. It's like a little tiny, well, I guess it's got like bunk beds and like a little kitchen and that type of thing. And then he uses the house for like the bathroom and whatever. But I don't know, there's some people out there that aren't too well off in life, and there's too many of them. I mean, I could name more of them right around me that aren't in secure situations in their life. And that's really when we have in this United States of America the ability to conquer all that poverty, all the impoverished could be taken care of. There's not a doubt in my mind, you know. So it's sad. Yeah, and then I was thinking too, I had my daughter in law contact me, one mom from another. This is what's going on with your son, and then just leave it at that, and I hear no more. I guess that was enough to try and torture me. I knew that anyway. It's like, you know, it could even be him doing it, when people are like that. I mean, if she thinks that's enough and that was appropriate, whatever, I guess. I won't say it's better than nothing because either way, if you have people in your life that are unstable, you know that they're going to be going through some really horrible things and there isn't anything you can do about it. So they have to want to change their life to change their life. And they could say the same about me, but hey, I'm the one that has property. I'm the one that didn't go out to the bars and buy all these things and do this or that or go to movies or very, very seldom, did bought new clothes or anything. No, I paid for my land. And I have a crappy car. We have some collector stuff. And what I have, nothing is like new or perfect or anything, but I own it all. And I don't treat people crappy either. So I think I got something like plus things going on for me in my life, you know. So yeah, for a while I'm thinking, well, yeah, I come down hard on people, and I know I do in a lot of ways, but I the biggest conflict is um my son and I were starting to talk about God almost on a daily basis when I was there. Not almost, absolutely on a daily basis. And he was making a lot of sense and had a lot of insights a lot of people may not have. And other people knew that and wanted to stop that. And that is what happened from my perspective. So I'm not battling just normal things in life. I've got a lot of stuff going on. you know, it's like last night I was so tired. I was trying to listen to Doug, listen to a live stream, which I wanted to listen to. It was Robin was trying to get his uh, sound to play on playing somebody else's video, like if it was a preacher or whoever, and unless it was one of his recordings, he couldn't get it. Well, he finally got it. I hope he remembers how I was saying a prayer about it. I'm like, I was going to write, everybody pray, but I'm like, yeah, if they want to do it, they will. They'll think of that on their own. And that's why I'm kind of hesitant a lot of times to tell people what to pray about. You need to have that within your own heart, you know? So I don't, I very seldom will ask people anything anymore, even on behalf of other people. It's like, no, if it comes to you, it comes to you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's just the way it is. And we're in those times. God tells my heart, that's where I'm to be silent. It's like, no, don't tell people to pray. Tell them that you have faith in God. Tell them why you have faith in God, but don't tell them what to pray or how to pray. Don't leave that up to them. God will tell them what to do. If He wants them to do something, He'll tell them what to do. There's no doubt in my mind, you know. I had to pray before I got that job at that treatment center because it was all men, and I wanted to work at the women's one. And I really had to ask God, is this the right move for me in my life? Because although it was still in the medical field and psychological field, two of my interests, it was just entirely around most men except for like the owner and a couple of the nurses I worked with and stuff. So it's like, and a couple of the other counselors and the secretary. So there's like five women around a bunch of guys. It's like, ugh, yuck. But I know I did help some people, especially with their families and God and getting off hard drugs and all that, or whatever their problem was. So it was the right move at that time. And then the place closed down, so I don't know if they lost it because of. I think they were spending too much of the funds that should have gone, and there was stuff coming through the state too. But when you try to live too high when you're running any kind of business, you can lose yourself in that. You think, oh, I'm on top of the world, and then taxes hit, and then something breaks down, and it's always something, and you always got to think there's always going to be something, and make room for that or prepare for that, even prepare for not having any money flow coming in for quite some time if you go to a venture something like that, because it's big steps. So, but yeah, she lost it because she was living too hoity toity, lived in a beautiful A-frame house overlooking the lake, just a walk away from Pine Shores Treatment Center, which was an old tuberculosis hospital. Really creepy, and I could just feel the people that had died there. So yeah, it was rather creepy, and I spent a lot of my time when I could outside or sitting on the steps, cause, or in the office, but usually outside playing some b-ball or even taking. See, that was part of my job too, is taking a bunch of nasty ass mofos into town to the a National Guard to play some b-ball and go shopping or whatever they had to do, doctor's appointments. Then I held a counseling class for them. I'd be in the cafeteria, like one. There was two or three staff that usually had to be in there with them just in case, type of stuff. And then we had like piano, like a music room and whatever, and nobody was touching it. And I got everybody like going, just put a little more life in them. It's he said, well, you're all just sitting here. You live by the lake. It's like, what's your problem? You know? So, got them fishing. And, yeah, some city people that never done a lot of stuff like that. So, it's like, hey, go outside. Do you see that lake out there? You know? So, yeah. Anyway. I hope our friend is going to be okay. Well, I mean, he will be. It's just like when I've been, whatever happened to me, I'm alive, and God always made sure most of the time I had food. There's times I didn't, but you know, whatever happens, happens. You're still going to be okay somewhere, somehow. you know. I was on Facebook, and I agree 100% with Vladimir Putin from Russia, that although, and there was rumored that they put gay people in prison, that is not true. They will if you try to have a child entwined in that non family situation. Then that's unlawful. And I agree 100% with that. I don't care who says what. So it's the old millstone thing. And, if you want to teach children perverse things, you're going to have to learn to deal with the consequences. Say what you will. This is my outlook from studying, and believe me, I've searched my heart up and down and up and down. If you think with a gay brother and two sons that have been bisexual, and my ex and everybody else that I knew that has been like that, that I have not searched my heart and begged God for the right answers on these things for a very long time, and always came up with the same answer: there's a mom, there's a dad, there's a baby. And that's not even, they're trying to take that out of the scriptures and out of the teachings, and that's why. So these perverse people can do what they want with the next generation, and that's my warning today. That's what's on my mind, and it is a very big deal. Also, I had a premonition. One of my granddaughters is going to run away, but she's going to be okay. Word to the wise, just so you know. Um, and that has nothing to do with me, because I'm not even talking to them. I haven't tried to call or contact those children out of respect for the parents. And I sent a few, a couple scripture things and about a meme, about 3, 4 things within a half a year, and nothing more recent than about a month or two ago, to the parents. But I haven't even tried to contact anybody unless they got a hold on me on YouTube or Messenger or whatever. But so I can't be accused of trying to interfere with anything. And I hope what I see and have seen more than once doesn't happen, but I already know it's going to. And the biggest bummer for people that live off of Social Security, um, or the state, is when you lose one child's income within your household, then you'd have to tone it down a little bit. Yeah. And believe me, I've been in situations a lot where I saw people that really didn't have much in life, um, not act as snooty as ones that had a little bit more, I guess is the way I would say it. Even with family, even with your kids in your life, or your husband by your side, or whatever you're so blessed to have, people don't realize how rich they are sometimes, you know. Or if they do, they don't realize that other people may not have those things, to no fault of their own, and to have that kind of compassion for other people in that respect. So, and that's a very big deal too. I have friends like that. I know, that I think of on a daily basis, probably, usually. So, do you hear this compassion and loyalty? Where the heck were you yesterday? Robin had a live stream and I missed you. Something told me you were busy, though. You had like Saturday things to do. But I know I'll see you over there. Peace, little sister. So, yeah. It was kind of fun. Said hi to a few people, and just sitting. I was listening to Doug talk in the kitchen and sitting in my room and just watching what was going on the screen. And that was enough to just kick back. I was rolling some cigarettes and just listening. So, yeah, you know how different cities, like the landscaping, can look like different characters and whatever. Even the world, um, God made the world sculpted. Um, so they try to recreate it in their cities and whatnot, but a lot of it is serpentine. I wouldn't say dragon, I would say more snaky, like snakes. And trying to become dragons, I think, like with their representation of the egg and whatever. I don't know. There's a lot of different beliefs out there, but I just know that I've been in many, many, many cities and seen very similar layouts to like with the Vatican and with like, for instance, the St. Paul Basilica in Minneapolis. Um, and that landscape, well, they changed a lot of the buildings downtown now. I'd like to see an aerial view. I guess I should go look at that. Um, yeah, I should. I've been thinking about going to my childhood home. Maybe both of them. I had one before I was 4, and then another one. But Doug's seen it, but not with me. He was with my brother at that time. So at my brother's house, that was our grandpa's house. He lost that because of drugs. Isn't that crazy? He actually had a bad back too, but um, he would have been able to keep the house if he had done things right. And it was a bummer because, I mean, in all reality, I have a few cousins or a couple cousins maybe that think of me out of the adopted ones. But that's where we gathered for, usually Christmas for sure, sometimes Thanksgiving, so. And then we started doing it at some of the other kids when my grandpa got older and he didn't want that mess in his house anymore. So he did get sick of him and and I don't blame him because really him and I did most of all the work every time. So I don't blame him. Now that I'm getting older, it's like he all that mess. I'm not cleaning it up. Wow, no, thank you. Well, I used to love to keep busy every second of my day. I mean, I just didn't even want to sit down. But that changed. You'll be forced to make that change, whether you like it or not. That sucks. Oh, I was gonna tell Robin's Hood, um, if I the conversation comes up in another video. He's been working out lately. Hey, way to go, young man. I can see more definition in your muscles, and that's like totally awesome. Like this little one right here, if you can get that one to stick out at all, or this one. This is my bad arm that I've hurt, but if you can get them like this one right here, and these little ones. But yeah, not like they used to be. But and I'm still working back after some injuries and stuff. But yeah, once you have your definition in your muscles, you really don't lose it. And that's one thing. I might be getting saggy skin, but I'm still like I still have my muscle definition. Maybe not, because you lose muscle mass, you know, and bone density. When you get older, it's just a fact you do. So you better keep strong. Really, that's my biggest recommendation with anybody. Just keep strong. I'm going to light a cigarette. Excuse me. Yeah, yeah. Brought something to mind. I saw a post and I've seen this before on Facebook and I've shared it before, but I thought, why should you have to? But it said, does anybody ever say please and thank you or excuse me and pardon me when cutting in front of somebody anymore? And I'm like, why should we even have to ask these questions? It's like Doug said, he was by a state trooper yesterday. He was getting some Hershey's candy, and came up, or he came up, and she was there in the aisle, And she just stood there, stood there, stood there. And I don't know, remember if he said something or whatever, but I think he kind of waited, and then he had it happen again over by the milk. But I'm there, I'm like, I'll be looking, I'll see, doesn't matter where. I'm like, excuse me, I'm just kind of looking, go ahead, and I'll back up, let somebody else. Like, my life is not so hurry, hurry, hurry that I don't have 30 seconds for another human being. It's like, what's the big deal? You know? Go, 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 go. Okay, go. Please go. Hurry. Oh, man. And I can hustle, and I'm one that never was late for her job. I go early, you know. It's like, and I was reliable until I wasn't. I had my moments. I walked out on a job, walked flat out. I was hired as a cashier, and then they tried to get me cooking at Kentucky Fried Chicken. And that was sort of just because I didn't have to work. It's just because I get a little bit of extra money, whatever. I was trying to keep the phone here and whatever, because if we didn't have it, it wouldn't be the biggest deal in the whole world, you know. As long as we could have back then made our house payments and paid taxes and have electric, everything else, pretty much you don't really need. You don't even need electric, actually, truth be told. So you can burn a pine cone for light, just so you know. As long and it works best if you stand it upright. You can put it in like a cup with sand, like a metal container, and light your pine cone, and it'll act like an incense. Or I'm allergic to wood products, so it really isn't the smartest idea for me, but I do love the smell of pine trees. What a weird day. What a weird life. What a weird world. Death and decay, I'm telling you, and I've always said this, is not a natural thing to who we are inside here. It just doesn't it doesn't correlate with my forever feeling. So, yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna go to Adele's wake. I don't think so. I liked her, but I can't say, that I knew her that well. Where, you know, unless they were to ask, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. But otherwise, I think I'll just let the family and friends, you know, because, yeah, I said I wasn't going to do that again after I wasn't told about my friend that I'm named after, my middle name. And my dad died, and I wasn't contacted to go to their funerals. That's low life shit. And I said after that, I'm not going to any more funerals till it's my own. You know, so I don't care. I'm not. So, um, but that could possibly change with horrible circumstances. So I guess I shouldn't say too much. I don't know what the future holds. I guess I should say. So yeah, yeah. I don't even know what tomorrow will bring. Heck, what time is it? It's like 30 seconds. My roof can cave in. You're like, whoa, we kind of liked her. I hope that's what you said. Dang, or maybe some of you said, whoa, that was far cool. What a way to go. Talk about the sky is falling in Chicken Little. I was thinking, are all Satanists, don't get offended, are all Satanists 5'6"? Or do they come bigger or littler? Here's a question. Is there a weight requirement for the 144,000 or a height requirement? I bet there is. In fact, I know there is. I'll give you something to think about. They might be a little taller, but y'all are the same in some respect, you know. Even like them Satanists, one might be 5'6" and a little heavier, but he's sneaking in as one of the 144,000 because he meets the requirements just like by like maybe a millimeter off or something. It's like, you sneaky. I seen you trying to sneak in here. Get back, honky cat. Oh, I should name that white one. I call it that cat Yeti. I should call him Honky Cat. That would have been cute. Maybe if I get another white one someday. I took a chicken noodle soup and milk, and there, Doug had put some cream in there and some shredded wheats. I do have some kitty food left, but I was just using up stuff I got around here too. But mixed that all up, and there was still chunks of chicken in there. About like, ooh, some I put like that. Doug likes chunky, chunky, and I like stuff, you know, little smaller usually. And so I put some of each and stuff when I make it. Like I'll make little pieces of celery for him and little bigger ones for me. And he can have bigger pieces of carrots and, you know, he'll, or more carrots, that type of thing. And I'll take more celery, and, you know, so it works out. But yeah, yeah, anyway. But they loved it also. And then I took this whole wheat, shredded wheat, and mixed it all together with the soup that was left, and the veggies and the noodles and meat in there. And my mama cat grabbed one of them squares of shredded wheats and just grabbed it and started chewing it because I let it soak in there while I was making my coffee and stuff this morning. So when I took it out to feed him, all the milk and the chicken juice and everything soaked in there, she grabbed it like it was a piece of meat and just started mowing it down. Usually she follows me back to the house, but she didn't. So it's like she loved it. It's like, well, that's cool. You know, I thought it was pretty neat. All of them sat there eating and not running after me. That was pretty neat. Yeah, I just told Doug, I said, give Dave my condolences for about his mom. I'm sorry he lost his mom, you know. I knew it was coming, you know. Yeah, and she was a toughie. She is like maybe 90 pounds. I'm gonna say she was 86 pounds right before she died, probably. But she usually ran about 90 pounds, and she was probably 5 feet, maybe four. No, probably, yeah, maybe 5 feet tall, maybe, and really skinny. So like super skinny, not too bony, but just she was a small lady, you know. So yeah, what I really respected about her is we had something in common that we were pushing for the state to pay for the men in the facility was vitamins when they were coming down off of all their hard drugs and they were put on all these funky medications, which her and I both kind of would turn a glaring eye to the doctor prescribing shit because we were taking care of these people and we knew that their vitamins and what they ate and what they did in their lives in their recovery was a lot more important than paying for drugs. So we pushed for that and we finally got that. And so, like, each one, if they wanted them, through their money that was allotted through the state, if they weren't personally paying for it, um, could have a vitamin supplement once or twice a day, whichever, whatever they were taking, you know. We would have some like, we'd give it to them once a day because they didn't want to take pills anyway and they were kind of argumentative or whatever. So we'd get that in them first and the heck with it. Other ones would come in kind of twice a day for some of their stuff. And so each person was, different. So, yeah, she was a good nurse. Very good. Anyway, a little corny, but good. Definitely not evil. So that's always refreshing. Well, everybody, I'm going to let you go. Have a really nice day wherever you're at. Peace and love. Um, keep in mind what I was saying about teaching children perverse things or seeing people that are teaching people perverse things in any manner. If you can say something or stop it, do what you can do because we, in that respect, are all connected. If we don't protect each other, Satan surely isn't. So that's why um, we got to start doing things differently in this world for everybody. You know, really, it's really, really, really important. So just start doing that shit with me. Come on. Okay. Peace.